as families across the country get ready to hit the roads for the summer and over the 4th of July weekend. Unfortunately, we want to point out, though, drunk driving deaths do increase. Statistics clearly, I can barely talk today. I apologize. Statistics clearly show there are a number of days each year where certain ones are just more dangerous on the road, and 4th of July is definitely no exception. In fact, one of the top days I'm hearing. Our next guest, Karen Mertes, author of Amazon's #1 bestseller, Plaintiff 101. Thank you so much for joining us, Karen. And again, I'm reading those things, and I mean, it's just, it hits home, and it's incredibly sad to be reminded of these things. Yes. And unfortunately, you have an experience that you want to share that has really molded who you are.
Yes. You know, back on February 7th of 2007, I was driving on the interstate when I was struck by a very drunk driver. He was .221 drunk, nearly 3 times the legal limit, and he hit me going over 100 miles per hour. Jeez. And he hit me from behind. He broke my axle, shoved it into my transmission so I didn't have any steering or brakes. And then I continued to slide the equivalent of 3 football field lengths before ever coming to a stop. And it was in that time that I prayed and I made a bargain, and I said if I were fortunate enough to survive, I'd spend the rest of my life helping other people. And I didn't know it then, but I became the founder of Fulfill Your Destiny, which is a 501c3 nonprofit where I pretty much do nothing but raise money and give it all away here locally in greater Tampa Bay.
Well, first I need to ask, are your injuries okay? I mean, what was the process like to recover?
You know, I sustained a traumatic brain injury at the scene of the crash where my brain literally cracked and bled inside my skull.
Oh my gosh.
And that is a permanent lifelong injury. And thankfully I've adapted to my injuries so they're not as readily apparent.
Well, and you know, I mean, it's interesting. Obviously, you've overcome that, but then I do want to, of course, thank you for your service because you are a lieutenant colonel in our U.S. Air Force.
Yes.
So, one, thank you for our service, but you gave back to the country then, and now you are giving back to help others.
Yes.
Talk about the correlation between your life experiences and how they've molded you today.
You know, I spent 4 years and 2 months in litigation, and I'm also very fortunate to be married to a retired personal injury attorney. And he had always wanted to put out his information in a book. Mm-hmm. And lo and behold, his wife gets hit by a drunk driver. And so we partnered up and we wrote Plaintiff 101, the black book of inside information your lawyer will want you to know. And we believe that it became a #1 Amazon bestseller due to the fact that it's truly groundbreaking. There is nothing out there in the market on all of Amazon, all over really the world, out there like this. And we offer 50 takeaways and checklists on what to do, and it will save everybody time, money, and energy.
Well, and I do want to kind of give you a chance because all the proceeds do go to your foundation. So talk a little bit about your foundation and how people can possibly get involved.
Yes, and so what I do is raise money in 11 different ways. I'm a professional speaker, I'm a consultant in various things. All the information is at fulfillyourdestiny.org, and yes, all the proceeds from Plaintiff 101 go directly to it, and then I give the money away here in the greater Tampa Bay area, primarily partnering with other nonprofits.
So fulfill your destiny. Any words of wisdom to leave our viewers with just so they can fulfill their destiny?
You know, really regarding Plaintiff 101, it would be to check your UIM coverage under the liability, your declarations page on the insurance, and see what type of coverage you have. Depending on your age and income, you'd want to have at least $1 million of coverage, and it's not that expensive to have that level of coverage. And if you have at least 2 vehicles, you want to ask about stacking, where you can double the coverage for very small increase in premium.
Well, I'll say good tips. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story today. We really appreciate it.